Released on June 21st, 1961, The Parent Trap is a romantic comedy about twin sisters, Sharon McKendrick and Susan Evers, who meet by accident at a summer camp, discover they are the children of the same divorced parents, and conspire to reunite them before their father's scheming gold-digging fiancée can complete her plan. One of its cast members had been engaged to one of the most famous poets in the English language, who died in the First World War. One survived a near-fatal gas attack in her own home. One died 9 days before his own birthday, and one cast member watched his daughter die and 2 months later followed her. So where did they all end up? Maureen O'Hara plays Maggie McKendrick, the mother who gave up one daughter in the divorce, who has spent 12 years half a world away from her, who arrives at the Evers Ranch in California, not yet knowing what is coming. O'Hara plays the reconciliation scene, the moment Maggie sees Mitch again, with the precise combination of stubbornness and longing that defines her entire career. Maureen O'Hara was born Maureen Fitzsimons on August 17, 1920, in Ranelagh, Dublin, Ireland, the second of 6 children. Her father owned a clothing business and was a part owner of Shamrock Rovers Football Club. Her mother was an operatic contralto. She trained at the Abbey Theatre from age 14. At a hotel in London, she was noticed by actor Charles Laughton, who signed her to his production company and insisted, against her wishes, that she change her surname to O'Hara. She appeared in Alfred Hitchcock's Jamaica Inn in 1939 at the age of 18, then How Green Was My Valley, Miracle on 34th Street, and The Quiet Man alongside her lifelong friend John Wayne, which earned her the nickname the Queen of Technicolor for the way her red hair and green eyes radiated on screen. She was married 3 times. Her third husband, Brigadier General Charles F. Blair Jr., died in 1978. She received an honorary Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement in November 2014. On October 24, 2015, she died in her sleep at her home in Boise, Idaho, surrounded by her family, with music from The Quiet Man playing in the room. She was 95. She is buried at Arlington National Cemetery next to her husband. Brian Keith plays Mitch Evers, the California rancher and father of one of the twins, the man Maggie divorced and has spent 12 years trying not to miss. Keith plays Mitch with an easy physical authority that makes you understand immediately why Maggie loved him and why love was not enough. Brian Keith was born Robert Alba Keith on November 14, 1921, in Bayonne, New Jersey. His father was stage and screen actor Robert Keith. His mother was actress Helena Shipman. He spent his first years of life touring with his parents' road company, appearing in a silent film at age 3. He served with the United States Marine Corps in the Pacific during World War II and received the Air Medal. He became a major television star as Uncle Bill Davis in Family Affair, 1966 to 1971, the bachelor uncle who inherits 3 children, a role that required him to demonstrate warmth and authority simultaneously. He played Theodore Roosevelt in The Wind and the Lion. He appeared with Marlon Brando and Elizabeth Taylor in Reflections in a Golden Eye. In 1997, Brian Keith was diagnosed with emphysema and terminal lung cancer, despite having quit smoking a decade earlier. In April of that year, his daughter Daisy, 27 years old, an actress who had appeared with him in the short-lived series Heartland, died by suicide in her Hollywood Hills home. Before dying, Keith called his Family Affair co-stars to say goodbye. He did not want them to read it in the newspapers. His note said, "Now it's time for me to join our little Daisy. She needs me." On June 24, 1997, he was found dead at his Malibu home of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was 75. He is buried above his daughter at Westwood Village Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Joanna Barnes plays Vicki Robinson, the gold digger who wants to marry Mitch and is foiled by 2 girls who aren't supposed to exist. Barnes plays Vicki with the precise social ease of someone who has perfected a performance and would be genuinely dangerous if the film let her be. She is also the only person who appeared in both the 1961 original and the 1998 remake. In the remake, she played Vicki Blake, the mother of the new gold digger. Joanna Barnes was born on November 15, 1934, in Boston, Massachusetts, and grew up in Hingham. She attended Milton Academy and graduated from Smith College in 1956, elected to Phi Beta Kappa. She turned down a job offer from Time Life to test for an acting role, got the part, and never looked back. She received a Golden Globe nomination for Auntie Mame in 1958. She wrote the novelization of The Parent Trap, several syndicated newspaper columns including Touching Home, carried by the Chicago Tribune and New York News Syndicate, and 3 novels, The Deceivers, Pastora, and Silverwood. She was married 3 times. Her third husband, architect Jack Lionel Warner, died in 2012. She died on April 29, 2022, at her home in Sea Ranch, California, at the age of 87. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We release new videos every week. Hayley Mills plays Susan Evers and Sharon McKendrick, the twins who have never met, who are immediately recognizable to each other and recognizable to the audience as the same person, who have grown up on different continents into different versions of the same girl. Playing two characters in the same film at 14, with the technical demands of filming against yourself, required a precision that Hayley Mills made look effortless. She was 14. She had already won an Academy Juvenile Award. Hayley Mills was born Hayley Catherine Rose Vivian Mills on April 18, 1946, in Marylebone, London, to Sir John Mills and playwright Mary Haley Bell. Her sister is actress Juliet Mills. She had no formal acting training. She was cast in Tiger Bay at 12 by director J. Lee Thompson, who had been looking for a boy. She won the BAFTA Award for Most Promising Newcomer for that film, then the Academy Juvenile Award, and a Golden Globe for Pollyanna the following year. The Parent Trap was her second of 6 films for Disney. While filming The Family Way in 1966, at 20, she met director Roy Bolting, who was 53. They married in 1971, divorced in 1977, and had one son, Crispian Mills, who became the frontman of the Britpop band Kula Shaker. She subsequently had a relationship with actor Lee Lawson, with whom she had a second son, Jason. In 2008, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and treated it successfully. She has been in a relationship with actor Ferdous Bamji since 1997. She has been involved with the Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON, for decades, and wrote the preface to the Hare Krishna book of vegetarian cooking. She published her memoir Forever Young in 2021. She played Miss Pettigrew in Death in Paradise in a recurring role and continues to work in theater and television. She is 80 years old as of May 2026. Charlie Ruggles plays Charles Grandpa McKendrick, Maggie's father, the warm, slightly distracted patriarch who watches everything unfold with the beaming contentment of a man who has lived long enough to find most catastrophes entertaining. Charlie Ruggles was born Charles Sherman Ruggles on February 8, 1886, in Los Angeles, California. His mother was shot and killed in a robbery attempt. His father left Los Angeles with both sons afterward, and they grew up in San Francisco, where Charlie witnessed the 1906 earthquake. A police officer handed the 19-year-old a loaded revolver and told him to keep order. He trained to be a doctor, then became an actor instead. He appeared in almost 100 films across 6 decades, was memorably paired with Mary Boland in a series of early 1930s comedies, played Major Applegate in Bringing Up Baby, and voiced Aesop on The Bullwinkle Show. He had 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, 1 each for film, radio, and television. When asked what his next project was going to be, he said, "Forest Lawn. After you've played everything I've done, there ain't no more." Suffering from terminal cancer in 1970, he divorced his wife so he could die alone. He died on December 23, 1970, in Santa Monica, at the age of 84. Una Merkel plays Verbal McFarland, the housekeeper at the Avers Ranch, the plain-spoken Western woman who watches the twins scheme with the wary appreciation of someone who has seen most things. Una Merkel was born Una Kohnfelder on December 10, 1903, in Covington, Kentucky. Her father was a traveling salesman who moved the family constantly until they settled in Philadelphia and then New York City. She bore a striking resemblance to Lillian Gish and began her career as a stand-in for Gish in the 1928 silent film The Wind. She became one of Hollywood's most reliable character actresses, best known for a hair-pulling brawl with Marlene Dietrich in Destry Rides Again, her wisecracking chorus girl in 42nd Street, and a Tony Award for The Ponderheart on Broadway in 1956. She received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress for Summer and Smoke in 1961, the same year she appeared in this film. On March 5, 1945, her mother turned on the gas in Una's home in a suicide attempt. Una survived. She retired from acting in 1968. She died on January 2, 1986, in Los Angeles at the age of 82. Kathleen Nesbitt plays Louise Grandma McKendrick, Maggie's mother, the woman who has watched her daughter's divorce from a careful distance and who receives the news of everything that follows with the serene authority of someone who already knew how it would end. Kathleen Nesbitt was born Kathleen Mary Nesbitt on November 24, 1888, in Birkenhead, Cheshire, England. Her father was a Royal Navy captain. She traveled the world on his tramp steamer as a child. She was educated at Queen's University Belfast and the Sorbonne in Paris. In 1912, at the peak of her beauty, she met the poet Rupert Brooke. They fell in love. They were engaged. Brooke wrote of her, "Kathleen is incredibly, inordinately, devastatingly, immortally, calamitously, hearteningly, adorably beautiful." On April 23, 1915, Brooke died of septicemia from a mosquito bite on a ship in the Aegean and was buried in an olive grove in Greece at the age of 27. Nesbitt never stopped loving him. She married barrister and actor Cecil Ramage in 1921. They separated after many years, but remained legally married until her death. She played Mrs. Higgins in the original Broadway production of My Fair Lady, cared for Rex Harrison by covering for her when her memory failed on stage. She appeared in 6 Alfred Hitchcock films. An Affair to Remember, alongside Cary Grant, though she was only 15 years older than him, she played his grandmother, and Alfred Hitchcock's final film, Family Plot, in 1976. She was appointed a CBE in 1978. At 90, she complained that her reputation as an actress was still blurred by public interest in her romance with Brooke. She died on August 2, 1982, in London, the day before the anniversary of Rupert Brooke's birthday. She was 93 years old. Leo G. Carroll plays Reverend Mosby, the camp's reverend who is pulled into the twins' scheme and ends up playing a small but pivotal role in reuniting a family he barely knows. Carroll plays him with the dry, dignified authority that defined his entire career. Leo G. Carroll was born Leo Grattan Carroll on October 25, 1886, in Weedon Beck, Northamptonshire, England. His Roman Catholic parents named him after Pope Leo XIII. His Irish-born father was a military foreman. He served in the British Army during the First World War. He appeared in over 300 plays and more than 75 films, working with Alfred Hitchcock in 6 pictures: Rebecca, Suspicion, Spellbound, The Paradigm Case, Strangers on a Train, and North by Northwest. More than any other actor, Hitchcock considered him the ideal embodiment of the conflicted, authoritative Englishman. He played Cosmo Topper in the television series Topper and Alexander Waverly, the enigmatic spy master who directs Napoleon Solo and Ilya Kuryakin, in The Man from UNCLE from 1964 to 1968. He was name-checked in the opening number of the Rocky Horror Show.
I knew Leo G. Carroll was over a barrel.
He died on October 16, 1972, in Hollywood, 9 days before his 86th birthday. Thanks for sticking to the end, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos exploring your favorite casts from the past.